Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is Mike's Talks and Thoughts here. Back again today with another characters tier list for you guys. And today we have the Big Bang Theory. Now, for this characters tier list, I took one that I thought was, pretty well rounded. I didn't take one that had too many characters, but not one that was too bare bones. I thought this was a good mix here. A lot of the big side characters as well as the main characters. So yeah, just like our other tier lists here on the channel, S through F, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. So yeah, let's get started here. So first here we have Lucy here. She was one of Raj's girlfriends. I'm gonna put her in the C tier though. I think that she's pretty neutral for me. I didn't really like her a lot, but I didn't really dislike her either. She has a lot of these weird quirks, but of Raj's girlfriends, not one of the most memorable ones to me. Next here we have Leonard, of course, from the main group here. I'm going to put Leonard in B tier. I think Leonard is okay. I think he's not really that strong by himself, but he works really well off of all the other characters, especially like Sheldon and Penny. I think Leonard really works well off of those two. So yeah, Leonard here in B tier. Next tier we have the side character of Bert. I think Bert's gonna go in B tier as well. I think he's pretty funny. He has a lot of great scenes with Sheldon and Amy. I think he really shines high in those scenes. They're really funny. And he has that one storyline that's really interesting where he wins all this money from uh, like a science experiment or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but he wins a whole bunch of money, and then this one girl like gets with him just because he's rich now. And I think that was just a funny episode. That was really great. So Bert is B tier. Next here we have Sheldon's mom. I'm gonna put her in the C tier. I think she's okay. She really doesn't appear that much in this story. It's especially prevalent, in the first season you see her, and then the last season you see her a lot. But other than that, not much else. Of course, when Sheldon, has a meltdown, he goes back and sees his mom. But other than that, she's just okay. Barry Kripke here. I think Barry's pretty good. I'm gonna put Barry in A tier. I think he's one of the strongest side characters on the show. I think he's really funny. His scenes with Sheldon, of course, when they have the basketball shootout, that was great. When he pranks Sheldon's office when he's on the radio, that was are two hilarious scenes revolving around Barry Kripke. I think he's a uh, good character in that sense. Will Wheaton here. I'm gonna put Will Wheaton in B tier. I think he's a solid character. He makes a lot of guest appearances on the show. Of course, with Star Trek. I think he's a solid character. He does well playing off of the other main characters. Of course, Sheldon being the main one that he talks with. Um, Will Wheaton was always pretty solid on screen. Next here, another one of the main characters, Raj here. I think Raj is A tier. Raj is definitely on that higher end of the group. I think he's really funny. I think him and Howard have some of the best dynamics in the whole series. Their friendship is hilarious. And yeah, so Raj is going to go in A tier. Next here we have, in my opinion, the weakest of the main group here in Amy. I'm going to put Amy in C tier. Amy just, I don't know. To me, she's the weakest of the group. She was the last of the group to join as well. Um, she kind of comes in at the last episode of season 3. Um, and, I think she definitely gets a little bit better for me over time, but at points she's really annoying to me. I think she's just the weakest character. I think if she didn't have Sheldon, it's really kind of hard to play off of her, you know. Uh, just for me, the weakest of the main cast. Next here we have Bernadette. I'm gonna put Bernadette in B tier. I think she's solid, but again, she's probably on that back end of the main cast. I think like Amy, Bernadette, and Leonard are probably the bottom 3 of the main group here. But she's still pretty solid. I like her relationship with Howard. Um, I think they have one of the better relationships on the show. So yeah, put her in B tier. Next here we have Denise, someone who really isn't too memorable in the show to me. Um, basically, she works at the comic book store with Stuart, but for me, she's just gonna go in C tier. Just someone who really isn't too memorable to me. I believe that she was involved with Stuart in some part in the show, but she's an assistant there at the store, but she's really not too prevalent as a side character through most of the series. So yeah, she's gonna go in the C tier. Next year we have Emily. This is Raj's, like, I'd say his most prevalent girlfriend in the series. Um I'm gonna put her in a B tier. I think she was okay. There were some parts of her that I just couldn't stand, but she I think of the ones that Raj was with, she made the most sense with Raj getting with at the end of the show. Um, so yeah, probably my favorite of Raj's girlfriends. Next tier, I've said it many times on my channel, Howard Wolowitz is S tier. Howard Wolowitz is the best character on this show. I think he's the funniest to me. Sheldon is really funny too, and we'll just get to Sheldon as well. I think Sheldon's also S tier, but I think Howard's just, he's funnier and he's less annoying. Sheldon, for a lot of the first couple seasons, it literally took me a long time to get used to him because he was super annoying. But then you kind of learn to live with it and you understand it. Howard, I think, is just less annoying. I just think he's funnier to me. So I think they're both S tier characters, but Howard is the number one on the show to me. Next here we have Penny. I'm gonna put Penny in the A tier here. I think Penny is again one of the stronger of the cast. Definitely in that top half. I think that Howard, Sheldon, Raj, and Penny are like the top four, and then the bottom three, Leonard, Bernadette, and Amy. I think that splitting that gap there. I think Penny is really good. Um, I know a lot of people, just don't like her because she's so stereotyped, but I think she does a really good job playing off all the other characters and actually grows as a person throughout the series. So I'm gonna put her in A tier. Next tier we have Bernadette's dad. Not much to this guy, but I'm gonna put him in C tier just because the scene with Sheldon where they're at the I believe it's Thanksgiving or Christmas, and him and Sheldon drink together. That's a great episode. Really funny. So, yeah, put him in the C tier. Next tier we have Stuart. I'm going to put Stuart in the B tier. I think Stuart is solid. He's actually kind of bordering on that A tier. He's probably the closest person in B to move up to A. I think Stuart's really cool, and he kind of becomes a main part of the group in the later seasons. I don't think it's really official that he's a part of the group, but he really stands out as probably the biggest side character on the show, of someone who hangs around the longest. So yeah, Stuart here, solid character. Next tier, Raj's parents. I'm gonna put them both in D tier. I just think they're just not memorable at all. Um, you know, they really aren't seen too much in the show, and they're just really not memorable characters to me. So yeah, I'll put them in the D tier here. Next tier, we have someone who I believe works for the university. I'm gonna put him in the D tier. Just someone who, again, not memorable character at all. Next tier, we have Mr. Proton or Bob Newhart. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. I think he is a solid character. I think his interactions with Sheldon are always great, and he really brings a lot of jokes to the show, and bringing back Sheldon's childhood. So I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Now next year we have I knew this was Raj's girlfriend or soon-to-be wife towards the end of the series, Anu, but someone who's just not memorable. Someone, if you were just a casual fan, you probably don't remember her at all. So yeah, D tier. Leonard's mom, I'm gonna put in D tier as well. While she has some funny scenes, I just did not like her as a person. So yeah, just didn't like her much at all. Priya here, I'm gonna put Priya in C tier. I thought she was okay. You know, her and Leonard get together in season 4, and I just felt like she was someone who, was an outcast of the group and was someone who was just going to be there temporary as a way for Leonard and Penny to get back together. But I didn't really dislike her as a character, so I'm going to put her in C tier. Leslie here. Ooh. I'm going to put Leslie in C tier. She's okay. She's really prevalent in the first couple seasons, then really doesn't appear much after that. So for that reason, she's just gonna go in the C tier. And then Zach here, I think Zach is just really funny. Being stupid. It's just really, really great to see how he plays off the rest of the group. Someone who was, of course, a boyfriend of Penny's throughout stints in the series. I'm gonna put him in B tier though. Just someone just not too memorable here. So yeah, this is probably the first tier list I can think of where there was no one in F tier. There might have been one that I've done before, but as far as I can remember, this is the first tier list with no one in F tier. So yeah, let's recap here. So we have Howard and Sheldon S tier, Barry, Raj, and Penny in A. In B, we have Leonard, Bert, Will, Bernadette, Emily, Stewart, Mr. Proton, and Zach. In C tier, we have Lucy, Sheldon's mom, Amy, Denise, Bernadette's dad, Priya, and Leslie. In D tier, we have Raj's parents, the university leader, Anu, and Mrs. Hofstadter, or Leonard's mom. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and